Hi everyone, Ed here from Shades of Vengeance, and today, as you can see, I'm joined by Leo.
Hi everyone.
We are here to talk today about era Kaiju, and Leo's here to grill me on a couple of aspects.
You say grill, so if you're not aware, I already sat down with Ed and we did a little interview, and I approached era Kaiju from the mind of a GM, and now I've decided to take a step up and put on my player hat. Because it's been a long time since I played. I beta tested the early days of Kaiju, and it's been a very long time. So I want to ask a bit more about the game and how it would feel, how I could approach it as a complete novice to Kaiju, to the Era D10 system.
So I'm going to leap on this immediately and take control. What do you want as a player in a Kaiju game? What is it that you expect?
Obviously, I want that sense of scale. I want to be Godzilla and smashing things up and using a taxi as a club. You know, all those little bits and pieces. You know, the set pieces of, you know, pushing the enemy into a building, causing them mayhem, maybe even being good and saving someone. You know, saving the humans.
I doubt you'd save a single human on their own.
Humans plural.
Very small compared to you.
Maybe a pinch grip.
That sounds like you'd probably crush the human to death. So if that's what you want, era Kaiju is where it's at. The weapons listed in the game, for starters, they're cranes and buildings and oil tankers and lorries that are carrying oil. You know, I've got oil tanker lorry, as in wheeled vehicle for our friends across the pond, and oil tanker as in literal boat tanker that you could pick up and whack someone with if you wanted to.
Okay.
So there are all kinds of options there about how you approach the environment, the weapons around you. You could pick up a bus or a house, very easily. Now, I would say that if you want to play like that, you're going to need what's the Kaiju ability called Grasping Hands, because that's the only way that you can actually pick stuff up.
Oh,
so you have to have grasping hands to be able to pick stuff up. I mean, if you have drills for hands, you're not going to be picking up many things, are you? You can do it, but you're going to struggle a lot more. You know, you might be able to spike in either end and then pull it off and then smack someone with it. And I would allow you to do that as a GM, but it wouldn't let you have much control with it. So yeah, in terms of the scale, what I want to really give you is just a description of the world, speaking as a GM and a game creator. I don't think that's terribly difficult, fortunately. That's a relatively easy thing for me to deliver, because rather than talking about being in a street, I'm talking about being on a plane with a city in the distance, and the city is about, I don't know, knee height with the sky, you know, the
high-rises, the skyscrapers.
That's probably a bit small, but you know what I mean. It's head height for the skyscrapers. So all I need to do as a GM is be describing that, and as a game creator, all I need to do is tell the GM, oh hey, this is what it's like. So what else do you want? You're a Kaiju. You're playing as a Kaiju. What do you want out of the game? What do you want to feel?
Well, so I am the Kaiju, but there's other Kaiju there.
Absolutely.
So we're not exactly going to be tactical masterminds, are we?
No, absolutely not.
This is definitely a Godzilla versus Kong going on flames.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do at the table. I want an excuse to beat my chest and make.
That's fantastic too, because that's something that I recommend in the GM section of Era Kaiju. Is that you need to limit communication between the players. Now, this is something we did before, of course, in Era Silence, relatively successfully. And you need to limit what communication players can have with each other, because they are not intelligent. They don't have language. They could roar and give a general intention. Probably most Kaiju can tell a warning roar from an aggressive roar.
Yeah.
But you're going to mostly be judging based on the actions that people take.
Does that mean that if you're trying to communicate a warning roar, for example, I'm gonna jump on that because that's good. Would I have to roll to say I'm gonna warn Ed with a warning roar?
So you could roll for that, and then I could roll to understand. That's
okay.
actually happened in one of the playtests I did, where someone, I want to warn them. I'm like, okay, well, why don't you go ahead? And then how far did it carry was really a might roll. And then it was about understanding it was a reaction, or it was a luck, or it was maybe a willpower, to see whether you're interpreting it properly. I think the skills are broad enough, the attributes I should say, are broad enough that you can apply them to most situations.
So it's actually, general's not the right word, but the kind of wide nets for each skill that encompasses a lot of different pieces.
It's very much the GM's discretion of which skill applies. The Era D10 Light rule set, which I'm going to talk about in another video, so bear with me. The Era D10 Light rule set is not designed to give you a different roll for every single thing. There are only a limited number of combinations. 6 factorial, because there are 6 attributes that you can roll on. So the GM's just sat there going, is that might? Is it health? Is it luck? Is it willpower? Is it reaction? Is it your kaiju power? Which one sounds most appropriate? And you know what? It doesn't matter if there's not one that's perfect. Pick one sounds nearest. So for me, it was reaction when assessing the raw. There's no intelligence there. But reaction seemed, as in there is no intelligence as an attribute. But reaction seemed like the appropriate thing to give.
Yeah, so, and obviously, different GMs are going to read different, like they could read that same scenario in an entirely different way.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. If a GM said, oh, well, you know what, I thought willpower. Because I thought, I hear a roar and I could immediately think that's a threat. So I'm going to assess whether I can react not as a threat, but actually analyse it and think, oh no, actually, that's not a threat, it's a warning.
And that's opportunities for characterization around the table, as much characterization as you can get out of a potentially speechless kaiju.
I think you can get quite a lot of characterization, but it comes out more through action. So as a GM and as a creator, I'd be encouraging you as a player to be thinking about how your actions tell the story of your character. Tell who your character is. Do you approach sort of head down, you know, a bit more submissive so that no one thinks that you're being aggressive? Do you stride in as a giant kaiju, you know,
strong as possible,
not caring because you know you're the strongest one there is there? Yeah, okay, thank you. I appreciate the superhero reference. That was an accident. So I think there are loads of options. Okay. One more thing that you want as a player?
I mean, we've already talked about the scale, but if anyone wants to engage with humanity as a player, that's not really... It has to be from a kaiju perspective, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a mechanic called confidence that I've talked about in another video. And that allows you to interact with humanity. There's even a quirk, lover of humanity. Yeah. We had it in one of our playtests. And unfortunately, this character that was a lover of humanity kept accidentally crushing humanity, which actually ended up with the confidence for the entire group going down and then being attacked as a result. But you can be someone who loves humanity and protects humanity in, let's say, a little like Godzilla in the animated series. I wouldn't necessarily call it quite a lover of humanity, but it's definitely protecting humanity and at least individual humans.
But we're focusing on the monsters and their stories here.
You could go even further and actually have that character, I don't know, sleep in a park in the city, and it's furry, so people come up and pet it. You know, it enjoys it, right? Yeah. That's beautiful characterization. It really brings that character to life a bit more. It gives you that scale, and here's humanity wandering around, and as soon as you get up, you know, maybe they all back off, but maybe they don't run away screaming, because they know that you're a friendly kaiju who's trying to help them, and hopefully you don't cross that line into a danger.
Into a danger giant. Okay, so just a final recap. I need to think about my precision, build a kaiju, get ready to have fun, and see how many miscommunications happen at the table.
Absolutely. All right. And throw yourself into it. It's a game designed to have fun. It's not very serious. For me, anyway. You could take it very seriously, but I think you'll have more fun if you let it be a little bit lighthearted, like most of the kaiju movies are.
Yep, makes sense.
Not all, I know. Before someone comments Godzilla -1, I know, not all of them are really lighthearted, but many of them are, and Era Kaiju allows you to play both, but I think it plays better as a group when you let it be a little bit lighthearted.
Ah, nice way to wrap it up then. Okay, if you've got any player questions, or you want to take a closer look at the what we've got here, it's on Kickstarter right now, tiny URL, ed-kaiju, or leave your questions in the comments. I'm sure someone will get back to you.
Thank you very much for watching.
Have a good one.